Light in the dark, embers burning from dusk. Till dawn I'll be by your side, like diamonds at noon. So